All right, welcome back to another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Pin High Media. This week we're going to talk about, the week we had in London over in the LIV tournament. Honestly, kind of underwhelming to me, but we can get into that. We can talk about Rory's win over at the RBC Canadian Open, and kind of some of the shade that he threw at the LIV Tour, including some talk about Greg Norman, and then of course it's US Open week, so we're going to talk mainly about that because the PGA Tour reigns supreme. Let's get into it.
This is Jordan Spieth here, and
this is the Pin High Podcast.
All right, let's get inside the ropes. Let's just briefly talk about LIV Golf. Honestly, don't really want to even give it the full attention of the podcast because, truth be told, I I tuned in on Thursday and I was bored within 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not much to it. Like, they're playing for money and really nothing else at the moment. So, like, there's no pedigree behind it. And, like, it's not like they're playing for FedEx Cup points. Doesn't really make a difference for the official world golf ranking right now. Like, they're just not playing for anything, which is, I mean, I like the shotgun start on Thursday and Friday. Like, I could see the PGA Tour playing around with that, maybe doing a shotgun start on a Thursday or a Friday. But, like, other than that,
not weekends, but
not weekends.
Thursday,
definitely not weekends.
Thursday could be interesting. Yeah. Because, like, who actually, it's all on the course at the same time.
I mean, what you do have is there's twice or maybe three times as many players in a PGA Tour tournament, so you can't quite do a shotgun start. You would have to do like two separate shotgun starts. I like the concept of like being able to tune in at 9 a.m. and it's done at 3, every day. Yeah. Maybe not for a Sunday because that just kind of ruins the whole aspect of a Sunday.
Not for a Sunday.
But like, there's some interesting things going on there. The crowd felt pretty dead. Like nobody was really like into it, so I don't know. And it was also interesting to see no commercials, so I had to fill that excess time with something. I mean, the shotgun start helped with that a little bit because there was always action going on, but they had to fill the time with like these promos and stuff. So I mean, it wasn't the worst, but it's not something that's super interesting because they just don't have the firepower right now.
Yeah, and I think that there will be some learnings that the LIV series takes as well from this week. Maybe they don't do a shotgun start on Saturday or whatever. But overall, it's just like kind of an underwhelming product, and you quickly realize that like the level of golf is just nowhere near the tour. And granted, there are more guys going over to the tour, which is storyline in of itself. There are guys that are already committed. There are guys where it's like Brooks Koepka, where you don't really know if they are or not. But not a good first week, in my opinion. If as a golf fan who honestly was pretty intrigued,
right?
All of a sudden was not at all.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare the PGA Tour Sunday to the LIV Golf Saturday, the PGA Tour Sunday was way more exciting. I mean, you had Rory and JT kind of doing it out there at the end, and those like two of your marquee players. But if you had Rory and JT doing it out in the LIV Golf on a Saturday, I don't know if it would have been. It still probably wouldn't have been that interesting. They're just like not playing for anything. Yeah.
Saw the crowd on Sunday at the RBC Canadian. It was crazy.
Yeah, they brought it.
On the fairway. You knew the Canadian fans were going to bring it, and it was just a matter of whether the LIV Tour event was going to overshadow the PGA Tour event. And I mean, it kind of did during the week leading up, just because of that those storylines are like more interesting in a week leading up. But like once the actual golf was being played, it wasn't even close.
Yeah. I mean, like the one other thing I'll say about it, handicapping it, not terribly hard. You picked the winner the first week.
I did. I mean, I looked at Charles Schwartzel. I was like, this guy's been playing well recently. 30-1. I don't think DJ's gonna win just because like seems too obvious. Also, he's plus 500.
Yeah.
31 win. I mean,
Listen,
I wish I actually bet it.
my guy Sam Horsfield finished solo 5th, so it's not like we were like way off here.
So
I mean, the one thing I will say,
that'll be our thing. Like, we'll just like throw it in at the end of the episode. Like,
yeah,
be like, hey, let's
see how that goes. I will say Andy Ogletree showed up, shot 82, 77, 75, makes 125 grand. Not bad. And that's the appeal of the LIV Golf Tour to the golfer, like the normal golfers.
So I don't even understand how it works. Is he gonna? There's other guys coming to the tour. Is he just gonna like not be able to play because?
Yeah, I don't know who's gonna decide that. I guess it's probably
the captains probably just have a pool of people to pick from, and then
just
pick him because who would pick him?
I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work. Is it gonna be up to the captains? Is it gonna be like a political thing? Is it gonna be like Greg Norman says, don't pick so and so because
you know what?
Draw.
I think I've kind of developed my take here. I think that the only thing that will keep me interested in the LIV series is just like throwing down a pick on the podcast and just like not even really watching it, just seeing like, seeing what happens. But like, what's the fun?
I mean, didn't they have 3 South Africans finish like 1, 2, 3 in this tournament? So 3 of the 4, they were teams of 4. 3 of the 4 players from the one team, the Stingers, I think.
Yeah.
Finished in the top 3. And Louis was 12. So that wasn't even like close in terms of the team aspect. I thought the team aspect would be fun. They were 20 under, and the next highest was 6 under. So that wasn't even close.
No.
So we'll have to see how this plays out. But was a lot of shade being thrown at the LIV Tour out in Canada this week. I don't know if you saw they had Jay Monahan on the broadcast, and he wouldn't say anything.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think he wanted to like give the full attention to like, to them over the, the Canadian Open. But I don't know. It's just the whole thing. My whole opinion on it has been kind of changed by the first week because just I've been able to see some more perspectives off of people like making good points on Twitter, and it's just it doesn't do it for me. Seeing somebody go out there and compete for, because I saw this today. It was like, who actually cares about the purse? Like when you're watching a golf tournament.
No,
I don't. That was the only thing that intrigued me, was just being like, oh wow, these guys are gonna make so much money. It's gonna be fun to watch. It's like, no, I don't actually care what people are making.
Yeah, there's just no intensity
at the tournament.
Not a lot of intensity going on in the tournament. Now, I will say the PGA Tour, just like shifting over to that for a second, probably couldn't have had a better week in terms of how the tournament played out this week in Canada.
I literally don't think you could have.
Yeah, like probably couldn't have scripted it any better, which honestly, PGA Tour Netflix show is going to be sick. Apparently they had the cameras at the LIV Tour event too. So
yeah,
interesting. But yeah, Rory and JT just like going at it down the wire. Couldn't have been any better.
I'd like to pledge my official allegiance to the PGA Tour. I will no longer sell out for the LIV Tour.
Everybody has a price.
They give me a lot of money, which
everybody has a price. Yeah, I mean, and JT, Fina, Rory coming down to the wire in Canada. Crowd was crazy. Like, just crowd was super into it. They totally brought it. Yeah, couldn't have been any better. You had your poster child pretty much win the tournament. And then he came out and said,
first thing he said.
Yeah, first thing he said, right? I have 21 wins now, one more than someone else.
Yep. I honestly didn't get
Greg
that,
Norman.
To be honest, right away. I was just kind of like, that completely slipped my mind. And I was talking to my dad. I was watching with my dad. I was like, oh, I guess he didn't say anything about, he didn't really bash the LIV Tour at all.
Yeah, I was on the Twitter handle this week. I said, before Rory even pulled out the last putt, I said, oh, he's going to totally throw shade at the LIV Tour. And then
and I saw that.
It was a this league moment,
Yeah, and then I thought he didn't. and I was kind of disappointed, but also I was like, good for him, I guess. But then, yeah, obviously he did indeed throw a little jab at Greg Norman, which is
And yeah, I mean,
awesome.
listen, we had Justin Rose on 59 watch. Kind of agony the way he shot 60. He like was kind of on the first cut on 18, had a shot in and just like got a flyer.
Yeah.
Hit a flyer, went over the green. I think he ended up having the chip on, like wasn't really close and like left the putt like just to the left. But yeah, even the fact that the course got destroyed, because listen, Rory was 8 under for the day. There's a bunch of 6 unders for the day. Obviously, Justin Rose 10 under, Corey Connors 8 under. Like they destroyed the golf course, but it was still interesting. Like sometimes when they destroy the golf course, I'm not much like not too interested in it. But
When
you know, RBC Canadian
Canadians
Open,
know who they
blew it.
are,
Yeah, they brought it.
it means that, like, they tore up the golf course, but the right guys tore up the golf course, which means it still was a good test of actual skill instead of,
Yeah.
having David Lipsky, Brandt Snedeker, Rory Sabatini. Sorry for all these ricochet shots being like 1, 2, 3. I don't know.
I mean, listen, Tony Fina, I think shot 64 in the final round and didn't win. And they're like, wow, that's brutal. Like if you went out and you did your thing and you still didn't win, like tough.
Dude, me and my friend Jackson had just like the funniest lineup this week. And let me pull it up. I can't find it, but we had Rory, Patrick Rogers, and blanking on the other one, someone in the top 5. And those 3 were awesome. And then we had someone else make the cut that was also like T20, which, would be awesome. But then we had 2 guys miss the cut on the number. And if it wasn't for that, we would have had like such a good week.
And the cut line probably was like pretty high. Yeah.
+1 made it.
Yeah.
They missed it and shot 2 over. And they were both like at like 1 under start of the day. It was like David Lipsky and Rory Sabatini.
Yeah, I mean, I will say
That's
one
why
thing.
I just
Going back to LIV Tour, I guess one other thing that I'm interested in is just the golf courses, because Centennial is a pretty quality golf course. I mean, they're going to be playing good golf courses, but other than that, like you don't have like the drama down the stretch that you do. Like even if Charles Schwartz only won by 1, like it just didn't feel like it was never in doubt. So maybe if there's a closer tournament one day on a Saturday, it might be a little more interesting, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. But this week's gonna be awesome. Speaking of, good courses,
yeah,
we're gonna be at the Country Club in Brooklyn. And say what you will, we're New York guys. We don't like Boston sports teams. Boston's a pretty cool place.
Yeah,
And
I mean, right where I went to college, Brookline, I used to play the course that mirrors the Country Club, which is funny because the course that mirrors the Country Club is like a Muni, like it's so bad, but
really,
it's
isn't
like
right next. It's right next.
No, a different course, but it's right next to the Country Club, which is so funny that they just like a Muni is right next to it.
Yeah. What were we gonna go into first? Do we want to go into the course preview? And
let's just get into skins. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into skins.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll start with the course, the Country Club. What is it? The oldest country club in the world. Is that what it is? The original country club? Is that?
I know it started out being a 6-hole course.
It's one of the oldest country clubs in the U.S. The 1913 U.S. Open was there, and it has like 1,300 members, but it's pretty exclusive. Like it's hard to get in there. I think founded in 1882, so that's a long time ago. Trevor's played the country club actually, which sucks that he's not here, but he has played the country club, so that's an interesting little fact. Yeah, I mean, getting into the actual course these days, it's 72-64 and it's a par 70, so it's not a super long US Open course. Like Usually when you think US Open, you're thinking close to 8,000 yards, par 72, like really long course, but kind of similar to Pebble a couple years ago, like not a super long golf course for US Open standards, but there is like a lot of runoffs and undulations and there's penalty areas everywhere. There's a lot of trouble at the country club. And then obviously the rough's going to be high as standard with the US Open.
course.
Just some other events that have been played here. 1988 US Open, 1999 Ryder Cup, and the 2013 US Am, which was won by Matt Fitzpatrick. So he's in the field this week. Maybe a guy to look out for.
Fitzpatrick's so hot right now.
I know, and he like hits the ball pretty long these now. Like he did something, and like
Yeah.
he's not
It's like-
short anymore.
Is he what dare I say top 10 in driving distance? Or maybe he's top 10 in strokes gained off the tee. Maybe I'm just
That's maybe more like it. Let's look it up.
because I remember being shocked at that recently. It's like, well, with a guy who's as good around the greens as that, it's like when you pair that with good off
Yeah,
the tee.
top
And
10th in strokes gained off the tee. He's still 108 in driving distance, but I think like the last couple tournaments he's been like churning it on in terms of driving distance. But
right.
that all comes to 10th strokes gained off the tee. So I mean, the guy's pretty good, and the cross-handed chipping has worked out very well for him. So 18th strokes gained around the green, which is going to be important this week because this is the greens are pretty tough to hit this week. I think you were saying earlier they play the same greens as they are at Shinnecock and Wingfoot and like same grass.
Bethpage as well.
Bethpage. So like, and there's a lot of just
25% bent grass.
yeah. So like, it's gonna be tough to hit the greens, and when that's the case, like your strokes gain around the green is gonna have to be pretty sharp just to scramble, get up and down.
And so on the shorter holes, the greens are really small, but then I think I've from what I've kind of gathered on the longer holes, they're way bigger, but they will be undulated. So it's like if you have an 80-foot putt for par or for birdie, that two putt is anything but
Yes,
given to you. So
that's for sure. But yeah, it's an interesting golf course. I one that's definitely going to be a good host to the US Open. I'm surprised they haven't played there in a while, but whenever you go out in Boston, it's pretty nice. So the guys like this course too, so should be fun.
yeah, I agree.
And I think just the course being a little bit shorter, like it doesn't exclude players from winning. Like a couple of years ago when the course is super long, like Torrey Pines is pretty long, right? Like they're like, okay, Kevin Kisner can't win this event.
Another
like,
ricochet shot.
Sorry, Kevin, but he's even said it. He's like, yeah, I'm not gonna win this week. Like I can't, not long enough.
I wonder what he thinks about this week. I know he's been with the Foreplay guys this week. They did like a live show last night. I wonder how he's feeling going into this week.
I mean, if there's a week that like a US Open like venue that a shorter hitter has a chance, this might be the place. So
yeah. So how do we want to do skins this week? I know we've been a little sporadic with our skin.
I have two winners. I have a top 40 right now. I don't know if we want to like get together a top 20 and maybe a prop bet if we could find one.
Sure. Let's start with the winners. Let's go just back and forth. Don't go two. You'll go one. I'll go one.
So I'll start off with Trevor's first winner because he did give us two winners. And he said Matt Fitzpatrick. So he's won the USAM here. He's coming in red hot. I think he's 30-1. I like the pick.
He's 30-1. That is correct.
Yes.
Honestly, it'd be hard not to think about Sam Burns going into this week. I think he's got the game right now. He's finishing very well in every single tournament he plays. And you're not getting 10-1, 11-1 value on him like you are on Rory and JT.
Right.
So I think that getting him at about 28-1 is just about as good a value as you're going to get. But
I mean, the only thing from
pick is also 28-1.
The only thing from Sam Burns that like I'm gonna stay away from him until he does this is that he just like isn't a good major player. Like he finished T20 at the PGA like a couple weeks, like last major. But before that, cut T76, cut withdraw, wasn't in the Open, T29, T41, cut. Like he just doesn't have any top 10 finishes in majors. Only that one top 20. So I just need to see it from him before I could go ahead and pick him.
Right.
I mean, he absolutely could win this week, but
So who's your second one?
well, that was Trevor's. So this one's my first one. My first one's gonna be Shane Lowry, 35-1. Speaking of red hot, like this guy has been red hot as of late. Bunch of top 20s, bunch of top 10s, played pretty well last week. And he just kind of has that grinded out game that could win majors. He did well in the two other majors this year. So, I think he could go ahead and win one. I think I like him a little bit better for the Open, but I'm still going to pick him for the US Open.
Right. And I think it's crazy that you can get value like this on Jordan Spieth right now. He's 28-1 because he's been gaining more strokes, off the tee recently after like a pretty bad stretch there for a while. He's starting to putt, and he's a wizard around the greens. He always has been, always will be, no matter where his game is at. So I want to say that's got to be my second pick. But while I do say that, you see Colin Morikawa at 30-1, and you see Will Zalatoris at 30-1, and you see those two, and you're like, wow. Because I know Colin Morikawa has not been playing well.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go ahead and say that Jordan Spieth was also my second pick, 28-1. I like the value there at 28-1 for him. I mean, he's probably the popular pick this week. Besides like Rory, who's a favorite, I think Jordan Spieth is on a lot of people's cards. But you do bring a good point. Will Zalatoris in a major, probably going to finish pretty well. I don't know if he's going to win it, but if the putter cooperates with him this week, like absolutely could win it. I could totally see Will Zalatoris' first win being a major. So that's also a pretty good pick for the week. I think Trevor has one more pick actually.
Yeah.
And he likes Xander Schauffele this week, which is also a somewhat popular pick I've been seeing. Xander just can't really get across the finish line when it comes to the majors, but he's one of those guys that finishes well. I hope Will Zalatoris doesn't get that put on him in a couple of years when he just keeps
Xander hasn't been in a playoff at a major, so
that's true. But like Xander 16-1 right now, one of Trevor's guys, he fits the course profile really well. It's just a matter of if he could get across the finish line and actually like win one of these majors.
Yeah.
Because you see Xander at the lead and you're like, oh, he's probably not going to win. Whereas you see like Scotty Scheffler at the lead, you're like, well, yeah, he's going to close it out on Sunday. So
what's Scheffler at? 14-1?
Yes.
People have gotten real quiet about Scotty Scheffler.
I feel like John Rahm has been under the radar this week as well, even though he's 12-1.
No, he's not playing well.
Yeah, but like it's a major. The US Open always fits his game.
Yeah, but he's just simply not playing well at all. He did come around to the Memorial and
I mean, John Rahm's not playing well. T10.
He finished in the top.
T48 at the PGA. He won the Mexico Championship 3 weeks ago.
Mexico.
T27 at the Masters. T55. He's made all the cuts. T17. Like I love how we're saying he's not playing well, but
not
like
playing well is not. Yeah, I meant kind of for him.
Yeah, for his standard,
You're not playing well for that value.
Yeah, I agree, but like I'm just saying, like I haven't heard
anyone. What world are you
Rahm.
Comfortable betting John Rahm at 12-1 right now?
Not right now, but if it gets up to 20 or 30,
it never will.
If he's like within during the tournament live bet, like if he's like within 5 strokes and he gets
like
up
John
to
Rahm is not touching. I was like John Rahm's not touching 20 to 30 and for like 10 years.
If John Rahm's lurking, and you see him at good value, like there's no reason not to sprinkle on that. But he's just one of those guys. Another name I like this week, Tony Fina. What do you think about him? He played really well last week. I think he's figured something out. Like he's been playing well the last couple of weeks where he didn't start the season off so hot, but
it's a double-edged sword right there. I think.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll win? No. Do you think he'll play well in terms of like, drafting your pool or drafting your daily fantasy team?
Maybe. Yeah.
I do actually think that. I think
Fits the profile as well as a US Open type of guy. But
so. Here's what I want to ask you. If you have a sports book up in front of you,
yes.
is there anyone, let's call it 100-1 or more, that catches your eye?
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Honestly, no, not really. As I'm scrolling through it right now, that really catches my eye. I mean, the first thing is I always look at former major champions. So that will probably be, Molinari will be in there, Gary Woodland will be in there. Yeah, I mean that's the first thing I look at. I mean, Sebastian Munoz has had a really good year. I think he's 130-1, but I just like for some reason in my mind I can't picture it him winning a major.
So Matthew Neesmith. Don't look at him. Don't look at his odds. What do you think he's at?
Probably 300-1.
He's 300-1. And
Is that right? Wow.
well, I think that's about right. He is one of those guys where I could see, you always have one of these guys up down here that finish in the top 5 and might have a chance. Like I know Mito Pereira is an awful example because I think he was like 66-1. But you have some surprises out there. And Matthew Neesmith can ball strike his way around a course occasionally.
Yes, we've seen that before.
So I mean, he was in. I don't think he was in the Valspar playoff. Actually, he choked on the 18th hole.
I mean, I do see Webb Simpson at 110-1, and that's just like a guy that could grind it out. He's not super long.
The distance doesn't have to be super long, and it's another one that you think about for sure.
Yeah. And then like Seamus Power and Davis Riley at 80-1, getting close to it. Not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Do we want to get into some like props, top 40s? I have a top 40.
Sure.
Min Woo Lee, plus 350. Top 40.
Dude, he's played actually god awful.
Yeah, but for some reason when he gets in this big stage, he always makes a cut. And that's kind of what you ask for a top 40, making a cut. I mean, the Masters was sick.
He made the cut at the PGA Championship.
Did he not? Did he even play in the PGA Championship?
I think so.
I don't know. I see it for some reason. I don't know why. Good ball striker. Plus he's plus 350. So
yeah. To your point, Sebastian Munoz has had a really good year, like you said, and he's plus 120.
Yeah, I was just looking for more value than that, but I do like that as well.
But like some value on a top 40. Oh, Harris English is playing with the. Mackenzie Hughes is really in good form right now.
Yeah, coming off the RBC.
Plus 200 if you're looking for like plus 200 or more. Sam Horsfield.
How about a top 20?
Top 20.
I see Cam Young plus 180. Guy's been playing well. He's a New York native playing in Boston, but still.
Playing in Boston.
The Northeast Golf. He's a Northeast Golf guy.
What do you think about Sepp Straka?
Sepp Straka is interesting. I don't know. I like off the top of my head, I don't know how he's done in majors.
Pause. Matthew Neesmith is like 301 and he's plus 700 to be top 20. Sam Horsfield, I feel like has better odds than that, and he's plus 900 to be top 20.
Interesting.
What do you think about?
Going back to Sepp Straka for a second, T30 at the Masters, 78 at the PGA. Made the cut though both times.
Fair. So maybe just turns around and has a good weekend this time. But
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, there's some guys with some value, but like a legitimate something that I would feel comfortable throwing, some good money on. I think Matthew Fitzpatrick top 20 plus 130 is like, could be a hammer.
Yeah, I like it. Looking
I think
looking ahead to
interesting
some
value.
looking ahead to some props. This one's interesting. Top former winner of the US Open.
Where do you see that?
It's
Or-
it's in tournament props.
Okay.
Rory McIlroy leads the way plus 225, John Rahm plus 250, Jordan Spieth plus 600, tied with DJ. Kepka 10-1. I mean, that's just an interesting little prop
That's an
there.
interesting
Like
prop.
if you think Spieth is gonna, it's more of like a matchup prop between the top 4 guys or top 3 guys, but there's some decent value there. If you think Rory's gonna have a down week off of a win, maybe you put Spieth in. Or if you think Brooks Koepka is gonna show up because it's a major,
I don't know.
10-1.
That's a tough one. I don't know where the value is there. The value there is probably with Jordan Spieth.
Yeah.
Is there any? Do we want to throw together a top 40 parlay, or are those kind of just like annoying?
How about we do a top 40 parlay, but only like we've been picking like 4 or 5 each. Let's just do like 2 each.
Okay.
So it's six
Okay.
way.
Okay, let me just pull up the app real quick.
Yeah.
You can start out with your top 40, and now that it's 6 legs, we should probably
Think about value.
too much of a not too
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Started off here.
You can go first.
I'll take one of Trevor's picks first because he has it up, and kind of Keegan Bradley minus 115 could grind out a top 40.
I could see that. Okay.
And then, we said Sebastian Munoz, so I'm going to put Sebastian Munoz in it, plus 120. Maybe different.
Okay. And then I'll go. I mean, throw some value in there, I guess. It's tough.
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna go outside of the top 40s, and I think I'm just gonna go to top 20, and I'll throw the Matthew Fitzpatrick in there at plus 100.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at Trevor's. He's got Tommy Fleetwood. That's minus 135. I guess that's okay to add to the 6-way.
Sure. Minus 135, yeah.
And
then what are you gonna go with?
if you go back into the top 20s, Shane Lowry, I really like this week.
Okay.
I think it's a good.
And then on that note, I think I'm just gonna throw in Will Zalatoris top 20.
What do the odds come out to?
He's minus 105. So let me actually go with something else. You can consult me on this. What
Yes.
do we want the last leg to be?
It's a good question. I feel like it's got to be a top 20, right? Just because there's not a lot of value in the top 40s
There's
unless you
not,
pick
I know.
somebody way out there.
Yeah.
What is Zalatoris at? You said minus 105.
Minus 105.
What would that make the parlay?
That would make it 56-1.
Not great. Huh. Tough to add. What about top 10? Is that not?
I'd be down for a top 10.
Because you could almost shoe in Zalatoris top 10. He's probably plus 300 or something.
190.
Really?
Yeah. It's not very good.
Not good at all. Saying I see it at plus 330 over here, but
Really?
yeah.
Well, blame your boys for that.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. This is a tough one to add to the last leg, but I feel like we're locked into Zalatoris. We might as well just make it a 56-1 and put him in there, top 20.
Okay. So yeah, it's 5. It's 10 to win 561. It's not bad. And let's, one more time for the listeners, let's run through it. It's Keegan Bradley, top 40. Sebastian Munoz, top 40. Tommy Fleetwood, top 40. And Matthew Fitzpatrick, Shane Lowry, and Will Zalatoris, top 20.
I like it.
Like it.
I like it. Yeah. Anything else in terms of betting on the US Open? I'm just excited to like sit back and watch it. Father's Day on Sunday.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, my dad's like a golf guy, but he's not like, I don't think he's like a
sit back and watch it on Father's Day.
Sit down and watch it the whole, spend his Sunday watching the US Open guy. So I think he's like, let me go outdoors and like work in the yard guy. Just dad stuff.
Yeah.
But hopefully I can watch. I mean, I don't know what the Father's Day plans are yet, but I know they're not.
My dad already moved golf to Saturday because he's like, we're gonna sit and watch the US Open on Sunday.
Yeah.
So
I already know my plans don't revolve around watching golf on Sunday. So
yeah. Yeah.
So premonitions.
Yeah, that's what I was about to.
And the week.
I already picked my winners, but like premonitions, it's Father's Day on Sunday. One of the dads is gonna win. One of the new dads, maybe. Is Jordan Spieth a new dad?
Yeah.
Jordan Spieth, new dad, might win the US Open on Father's Day.
Rory's like not a new dad, but he's like a notable dad.
Yeah.
Just because like,
yeah,
I feel like there's always stuff between him and his daughter.
Same with John Rahm. Like one of those guys is gonna win.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna be like the Father's Day story, and they're gonna like play it.
Okay. I like that. Premonitions. This week, the US Open will not yield a winning score like below, however which way you want to put it. It's going to be 10 under or better. Like they're going to go out there and score.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them scoring at a course like this. I don't know if they're going to score that much. I think you'll see a bunch of guys under par because like sometimes you see the US Open and like everybody's like over par or like around even. I'll put in a score. I'll say 7 under wins it.
Okay. I mean, I might as well. I mean, I got to double down on my take.
You got to say like 11 or 12, right?
I'm going to say 15 under wins it.
Oh, wow.
And that's going to make me sound so dumb when it's like 5.
Yeah. Or +2 wins.
But it's just, hey, I mean, we're doing premonitions and hot takes.
I think I'm good at this. I usually nail the final score of the majors for some reason. I don't know why. You got to start betting on it.
You bet that?
You could bet like over under like total score. I think got to find it, but I'm pretty sure that's something that you could bet.
Yeah. Winning margin? I don't know. Anyway, that'll do it this week for US Open week. And then does the tour schedule kind of start to wind down, or like what do we got? I feel like we had a pretty good stretch of tournaments there for a while.
Yeah.
No, we still have the Open.
We still have the Open, which I'm like super excited about. I think we have one of our favorites coming up after the US Open, the
Travelers Championship.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it goes John Deere, Barbasol.
Yeah. Well, you got the Scottish Open is the same week as the Barbasol, which is
then Barracuda.
Well, yeah, that's the Open. The Open. So it should go Travelers, John Deere, Scottish Open / Barbasol same week, and then the Open. A lot of guys playing the Scottish Open as the Open, like to warm up.
This year that actually counts towards FedEx Cup points. So
correct, because it's now like a joint event. They're playing at the Renaissance Club, which is a pretty good. So
that'll be fun to watch. But yeah,
enjoy CBS too.
Enjoy the majors while they last, because all of a sudden, in a couple weeks, they'll be gone until April. So
yeah, but then we got the FedEx Cup playoffs. So which come in. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen this year because of golf and But yeah.
Yeah, enjoy.